everyone, I'm one of the member of group 6 and today we're going to present about the current issues and challenges of implementation of Islamic principle in deposit products. And one of my group member is Nur Shahida, second is me Divya, and my third group member is Nur Hazal Shaini. Deposit facilities are the major funds for Islamic banks. According to Yusuf and Wilson in 2005, Islamic banks and conventional banks with Islamic counters offer Islamic facilities which depend on profit sharing instead of interest. Actually, Islamic banks are free from riba. This implies that there is no interest rate imposed by the banks on their deposit products. So Islamic banks need to keep up the level of deposits in ensuring sustainability of the routine activities of Islamic banks. The important issue of implementation of Islamic principle in deposit products is public awareness. Actually, Islamic banking system has grown rapidly over past few years. However, an examination of Islamic banks and wider system has raises a number of issues on deposit products in Islamic banks in public awareness. Actually, Islamic banks should disclose all information which is necessary to advise community about their operation, even if such information would work against their firm itself. Actually, public awareness is the most important issue in Islamic banking system to develop awareness among people towards public education campaigns via the use of media. Even Muslims are not very much aware of the fact of Islamic deposit product which is being applicable in this world.
The next issue is misunderstanding and lack of standardization of Islamic concept. Some people misunderstanding the concept of Islamic financial institution. They thought that Islamic financial institution only available for Muslims, especially in deposit product. Although Islamic financial institutions are compliant to Sharia law, is it not only applicable for Muslims but also applicable for non-Muslims? Currently, there are significant number of Islamic bank operations in the country. The Central Bank of Malaysia established and introduced wakaf and second-in-use transaction in the bank. Islamic bank in Malaysia have offered to their customer to place deposit as a wakaf contribution. These activities are the new innovation to bring forward the new product, the Islamic banking. This is amendment of existing law Islamic banking. Islamic banking has some law and regulation that are similar as conventional banking. Therefore, law and regulation has to be amended accordingly to accommodate this new concept, such as Section 7, Fund of Business, in which banking company can engage, and Section 9, Prohibition of Trade of the Banking Company Order 1962. Will Islamic banks are big or wholesale traders in reality?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi, my name is Nur Shahida binti Ayub and my matric number is 278116. So the current issue and challenge related to Islamic banking in deposit products is tools to attract depositors. The Islamic banks so far undertaken extensive research in devising non-usurious procedures to utilize their funds. Very little research has been done in devising the tools to attract deposits. This may be so because they have not yet faced the shortage of deposits. But if they do not pay attention to devise the non-usurious tools to compete with the interest-bearing tools of raising deposits, then these banks are likely to face problems in their growth, particularly when they are working side by side with the modern banks. So far, Islamic banks have the following types of deposits, which differ from the deposits in other banks, which is saving account and investment accounts. So the next current issue and challenge related to Islamic banking in deposit products is extra management burden of the Islamic banks. The Islamic banks have to supervise and in some cases manage the operation of the project that they are financing. This problem is serious in developing countries where the business enterprise generally do not maintain proper accounts or keep different sets of accounts for different purposes. The presence of such malpractices will raise the cost of Islamic banking. Unless such foolproof devices are developed that do not entail the extra costs for Islamic bankers, the growth of Islamic banking activities are likely to be constrained considerably. So the last current issue and challenge related to Islamic banking in deposit products is problems of the borrowers of pure loan. The Islamic banks with very limited funds for such loans will thus be ignoring the needs of quite a large class of population. Integrating zakat and sadaqat with the banking system did not find favor with most writers. According to them, it should be the responsibility of state. Thus, launching of an Islamic banking system will need to be synchronized with the development of an effective zakat fund by the state or the central bank. Financing the interest-free commercial loan from pure saving accounts. The depositors give the bank the consent to use their money. The banks use their money but are not obliged to pay them a share in the profit to the same extent to which they give to the depositors of the investment account. The attraction of the provision of interest-free loan to depositors in the saving account will raise the Islamic bank's customers of saving accounts.
The major challenge of implementation of Islamic principle in deposit products is PLS deposit. Deposit in Islamic banks are usually based on principle of profit and loss, which is known as musyarakah and murabaha. Actually, the concept of profit and loss is an enterprise which is basis of financial transaction is a progressive one which distinguishes a good performance from bad. For an example, if something happens and the bank suffers a loss, it has to be transferred to the depositors directly. The loss is the biggest barrier to deposit mobilization in Islamic banks.
The second challenge is concentrate banking. Islamic banks tend to have a concentrate base of deposit or asset. They often concentrate on a few select sectors and avoid direct competition. For example, one Islamic bank may specialize in financing the agriculture sector, while another might to do the same in the construction sector, and neither attempt to diversify the other sector. The practice made Islamic banks vulnerable to cyclical stock in a particular sector. Dependent on a small number of sector lab or diversification, increase their exposure to new trends, especially for a conventional bank. They are better equipped to meet this challenge. There are solutions for challenges related to Islamic banking on the implementation of Islamic principles in deposit products. The first solution is independence of Sharia board and internal Sharia controller. The independence of Sharia board and all Sharia controller is vital and indispensable for the integrity and credibility of their work. To ensure independence and avoid conflict of interest, Sharia board members must be selected, appointed, and possibly dismissed by an independent third party like the central bank or by an international institution like CIBAFI. The next solution for the challenge is new generation banker scale. The next generation bankers must familiarize themselves with all the blockchain and internet of things language and internet currently floating around. More importantly, There should be look at a whole ecosystem to see where the Sharia element can be included and where others must be excluded. Collaborative discussion between regulators, academicians, practitioners, and Sharia scholars must work together for the growth in the industry. It is not just any growth, it involves a total paradigm shift to adopt a new ecosystem.
So the conclusion for this topic is Islamic money and IFIs are getting notable with a demonstrated decent history since first experience with society. The developing number of resources and resources bought under the arrangement Islamic is proof of the level of acknowledgement by the market. To contend on a level battleground with other monetary foundations, Islamic banks should be serious, and this implies creating and having more innovative items that meet the requests of the individual and organizations. The Islamic items created should concern not just with the Sharia necessities yet, additionally with the nation's enactment, rules and brokers. That's all from our groups. Thank you.